Okie dokie. Welcome back, everybody. Make sure my settings are correct. They are. There we go. That should be helpful. Okay. We got a pen. We got a pen. We got some paper. We're going to draw some stuff. What did I just roll over? My notes. Well, that's fine. Okay. It is Friday. We are doing the viewer suggestion today. Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a good week. The kid has rubbed what I can only imagine is Alfredo sauce or beans all over my tablet. Let's see if I can wipe this off real quick. What did I give him yesterday that was sticky? Ooh, that's really bad. Clean that off. Now we can actually start up. Alright. Pop out the chat. We are doing the viewer suggestion today, so if you have not suggested a character this week, you're very welcome to add one in chat. Otherwise, if you put one on the viewer community post on Monday, we either drew it on Wednesday or I still have it on the list today, so no worries there. Oh, are we actually online? Maybe we're online. There we go. Okay. So it's not weird and scratchy the whole time. Okay. Let's warm up with some rugbies. And then we'll get into this drawing. Make sure my screen is in a good spot. Ooh, we got a ghost rugby today, apparently. Woo! He looks like a koala. Okay, let's try that again. Something like that. Looks good. Working on a video right now, so hopefully that'll be out this weekend. If not, it'll be out on Tuesday, but I want it to be done for Sunday, because otherwise I have to come up with another video for Sunday. So hopefully I'm going to try to get that done today and tomorrow. Should be pretty easy. It's mostly done. I just have to compile everything. Excuse me. There we go. And we'll get some rugbies in here, and then we'll start drawing the viewer suggestion stuff. Had a pretty good D&D session end up on Wednesday, which is great. It's always nice when they actually conclude a big chunk of a dungeon. Or a session. I can't even talk today. A big chunk of a campaign. So they get to move on to the next zone, which is going to be fun. I'm excited for it. It's going to be a good change of vernacular. Saturday we have to finish up a dungeon there, and then we got to deal with some other stuff. That's going to be fun. I need to set that up tomorrow. That'll be worthwhile. Gonna have to deal with some kobolds. Some cone of kobolds. Doodly doo 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 doo. We get sued. Can't sing that song. Alrighty, let's do this. That's a pretty good rugby. I'm pretty happy with that. I think we can move on from there. But once again, welcome in. I hope everyone's having a good week so far. I don't need this, like, ghost koala rugby. You drawing too, kid? That. How small did I draw that rugby? Oh my god, it's so tiny. My bad. My bad. We'll put rugby up there in the corner. We should probably draw a crab or maybe a character. I need to figure out what I want the splash art for my game to be here. I do like the masks, but I also like the crabs. Do that. Have a little character here. Whee! I like the idea that, like, I like little bird halos for some reason. I think they're pretty great. All birds need halos. This is how it works. Or hats. A little demon hunter hat. Bird. It's pretty good. What is going on right here? Let's change this real quick. And then we will dive into the viewer suggestion. That is not legible. That is not legible. I don't want a gradient. I want a background. There we go. That's better. Let's go 20. Perfect. Okay, that looks much better. Should I put the what if we did this? What if we did this? I'm gonna do this. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. That's a thing, but I didn't realize was a thing. If I do this, I put this up here. Put that up there. Can we make it a little bigger? I think we make it a little bigger. Oh, interesting. When you make a copy of something in OBJ, it is a physical copy, not a clone. It's a clone of it, not a new thing. So I just need to make a new one, apparently. Okay, I'm not gonna do this right now. It's gonna take too long. Anyways, let's get back into it. Let's go start drawing some suggestions. The way this works for people that are new or don't know what's going on is I have the list from Monday, or you can submit them here in chat. I put them on a list. I roll the dice gods decide what we draw, and we go from there. So let's see what we got today on our list. Excuse me. Two. A Knoll Werehag. Hyena Clown Mime. Oh, good. That sounds terrifying. That sounds terrifying. Okay. I didn't finish this up. Maybe I should finish this up first. This. All right, I'm happy with that. We're gonna leave that Birdman here. All right. Hyena clown mime. I'm not happy about this. But I'm going to draw it. Oh, am I going to draw it? Draw him on the fridge. Hey. Draw on your book, please. Okay. Do I need to look up mimes? Or should I look up hyenas first? We'll look up some mimes. There was a time in my childhood that I thought it would be fun to be a mime. But I also want to be a magician, so like, you know. It's okay to be young and stupid. I still really like magic. The performative arts. I've made a teddy bear instead of a hyena. I always forget what hyenas look like. A knoll. Round face? Yes. Big old moon face. Tiny muzzle. Short muzzle, I guess. Something like this. Tiny muzzle. Round nose. Show him a funny hat. I feel like the hat might be good. Something like this. TV might be a little too loud. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that or not. I hope not. It might also. Just need to be turned down. There we go. It does look like I've drawn some kind of bear mime. But maybe that's okay. Maybe it's okay to have a little bit of a derp. Derpy mime gnome. Gnome? Jeez, no. Angry mime. Yep, we gotta give him a funny hat. How's everybody's week going so far? I haven't heard from Atomic in a little while. Atomic's doing okay. You're out there. What is it? It is January. No, it's February. It's almost March. I'm excited for it. It's gonna be a good time. I feel like I've made a grumpy train conductor. What have we done here? Mimes need stripes, right? I'm putting some striped shirt. Maybe that will help. It makes him look more like a train conductor. Are mimes train conductors? Is that a thing? Is that a thing I didn't realize until now? He's gotta have the super crazy long arms. But is he in a box? Let's shrink this down so I can draw the arms so we can have a belt. That'll make it look like a knoll and not a teddy bear. Maybe the nose is too big too. That's right, he's got a tube top. What now? No one expected the mime with the tube top.
Hello. Hello?
It would be kind of cool to be a mime and have like spells like Luke's Resilient Sphere or the Wall of Force. Just like use real magic to make the dumb mime stuff happen. I'm sure that's where some of that came from.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Ooh, it's Friday. I'm gonna make pizza tonight, I think. I had something else I wanted to make. I can't remember what it was now. Oh, I bought some ores though. That's what it was. Yeah, we can have pizza. We can make something later this weekend with that. Corvus, hello, hello. Oh. No, I can't. My speakers got turned off.
Hello?
Welcome in.
Hello?
Yep, now I can hear you.
Okay. I was like, please don't tell me my headset's wrong.
Nope, the speakers got turned off.
I was really gonna be upset. I can't handle inconveniences.
Did you get a new headset, or is it still just the same one that's small?
No, it just... I'm always expecting... Because this was... No. $25 headset. I'm not expecting super long lifeline out of it.
Yeah, a year and a half is usually about those, I think. That's about how I went through them.
I'm just glad it's not... No shade at you.
No,
But I'm glad it's not the one that you sent me.
Oh, it's a different one?
Because after like... Yeah, so the one you sent me is just busted.
Yeah.
And like, it started cracking like after a month. Is my head too big?
Yeah. When I started years ago, this was years ago when I was at the university, I was on my headphones pretty much all day. So I bought like I bought like a really nice set of Sony studio headphones, and I still have them. Like, they are probably 15, 20 years old now. So I've had to replace the foam pads on them, but they're otherwise still good. Sometimes it's worth being able to invest in that kind of stuff, but not always possible.
Yeah.
I feel like I've made some kind of like village person train conductor instead of a mime, but I don't know how to change it.
Yeah. Because they're furry, it'll be hard to put like face paint on them.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing something like this, where I'm just gonna like kind of paint just the face.
Yeah.
I guess that's all you need.
Maybe
right?
change the hat.
I could change the hat. Yeah. What kind
like
of hat should I
turn
buy?
into a beret.
Okay. A little French beret.
Yeah. Because like when you see like a mime, that's normally like the hat they're in if they're wearing a hat. It's like a French beret.
Now it's Donald Duck. I've made strange Donald Duck. I need more references. Okay. Okay. I've got this now. I've got this now. I can do this. Bonjour.
Viva la revolution. I just kind of noticed the hand, and my mind went to Yowie hands, which is a meme that I don't know if you're familiar with.
I'm not.
Okay.
I know the
You know what that
from,
at least is.
From Game Grumps.
Okay.
That's all I got.
It's nothing like inappropriate, but it's just like this funny thing.
Or I thought Yowie meant like inappropriate or perverted.
No, it's just like a genre of like gay stories, basically.
Ah.
And like the odor, like from like the 90s and like late 80s of them had like really unnatural proportions, like more so like than like most manga has. And
Oh, weird. Okay.
they just have massive hands.
Yeah.
Or like
massive.
really big head, tiny body. Its proportions are just
What do we do
nonsense.
if we can't draw the giant boobies? Go for the giant hands, I guess.
Yep. It's just a funny
Kid.
thing that people like kind of just notice. It's like, oh. Why are these hands so big?
Why are his hands so big? Funny.
I'm glad it's just us.
So it's a
Thank you
genre,
for too much
not
information about me.
necessarily. Say that again.
As I was gonna say, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna ask. I didn't realize it was a genre, not a like a.
Yeah. So there's Yaoi, Bara, and Yuri. Those are all Japanese names
Gotcha.
for queer manga, basically. Yaoi is specifically like almost universally written by women for women,
Okay.
and kind of same with Yuri.
Romance. Romance.
those
Like
are-
romance novels.
Mhm. While Bara tends to be written by actually queer men for queer men. So like they tend to be more rugged, and they take a lot of inspiration from what's his name?
I was gonna say cowboy novels.
Kinda. But that Finnish artist.
Finish.
Something of Finland.
No idea. Do I need to give this guy a cigar? I feel like he needs a cigarette or something. Maybe that's a stereotype.
Tom of Finland.
Tom of Finland. Not heard of this.
Yeah, I'm not going to... It's not super inappropriate, but it's just like, when you say like, oh yeah.
Drew and I are obsessed with Frank Frazetta, who is softcore fantasy porn. Like,
Yeah.
You need a book about space aliens, huh? Can the main character be only wearing a space helmet?
Yep. Oh.
You've been transported across space and time, but without your clothes. Okay. That's a really good drawing.
Yeah.
But
there's like...
Maybe we can summon Druid.
But Tom of Holland, which I know Jared knows Tom of Holland, a lot of like our artists are like kind of sort of like take inspiration from his style.
Okay.
So they tend to be more bare than shredded twinks.
Shredded twinks are fun to draw. That is the unequivocal part of art for me. Is like it's fun to draw really skinny, muscular people. It's like it's not really realistic.
No. It reminds me of for some reason, it reminds me of like the descriptions of like deep gnomes in like D&D.
Sure.
Because they're described as being like largely short and everything, but they're described as being very wiry and like I think but they're never shown as wiry. They're always kind of shown as frumpy.
Interesting.
So, like they're...
Maybe Pathfinder 1 had a lot more of the really skinny gnomes.
I do think so.
Yeah.
I mean, like D&D like has them, but like
yeah. There's also like the hobbits were always described as being really, really plump, and and
being a skinny halfling is weird.
Yeah, and so I think there's like, going from halflings to gnomes to hobbits to halflings to gnomes. Like I think the visuals kind of get skewed because everything gets kind of blended and weird. But I really do think gnomes should be very like pixie and sprite-esque instead of chubby little hobbits.
Yeah.
A T-Rex
so
wizard is what I just rolled. T-Rex wizard. Not a dinosaur folk.
Deep gnomes are wiry and lean with a body as hard as a slab of rock.
There you go.
Like, okay, that... And yet, the official, like, sort of poster boy gnome that they have on the wiki is not that, at least in my opinion.
So the Pathfinder,
but maybe I don't know. Maybe
the Pathfinder gnome looks like this. Oh yeah, okay, you're right. That is not hard as stone, is it? That's a very chunky lad.
Like you can be chunky and muscular, sure, but like that's not like a salt. Yeah. That's not a muscular stomach. But yeah. I know they had them because they didn't completely retcon them. They just changed their name.
Yeah, they're Sir Nibblins, and I don't know how to spell it.
Rafnar. But yeah.
I think it's a derivation from Svartalves. Sort of Niblin. This is the one I always think of. Oh, good lord, that is weird. I have not seen that picture
What is
before.
it?
The one you just posted.
Oh, yeah, that's the one like that's on like the Pathfinder wiki.
Huh. Why is she bald? I guess they're all bald, aren't they?
Yeah, that is sort of like the universal trait for all Snurf Nebulin is that they're bald.
Get out of here, Mime. Drawing a dinosaur wizard. I think the other part of it, like the deep gnomes and the Duragar. The Duragar really, in D&D at least, take the main focus. William, welcome in. So like, you see the deep gnomes a lot, and then every now and again you see one or two deep gnomes.
You mean Durgar?
No, the Duragar are dwarves.
You said.
Did I?
Well, you
screw it
said
up?
deep gnome twice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Duragar. You see the Duragar a lot, and so you see the dwarves, and then every now and again you just see a significant or a deep gnome, and you don't really realize that they're different. You're just like, oh, that guy's small. It's like, no, that's a completely different race.
Yeah.
So I think I think you're right. I think the dwarf shape to gnome shape is much more relatable or readable, but then when you have the Duragar and what they do with deep gnomes, it's like, it's not as noticeable. So I think them being skinny is important, just so they don't look like a blocky dwarf. The what? Duragar is the dark under.
Yeah.
Under.
Also called gray dwarves.
Gray dwarves. Okay.
Yep.
Mackenzie's meant to be a cheetah. Am I? Stupid Bluey under. Bluey is great. Go watch Bluey.
I will say I do like a lot of Pathfinder's gnomes.
Yeah.
Partially because they actually wrote like stories with them instead of just like, oh, they're there in the world. We don't know where they're from.
I really like the I don't know the name of him, but the summoner, the iconic summoner.
Oh yeah.
He's a cool dude. I have a little figure of him somewhere. He looks like a Tabasco bottle. It's great. Got a very tall hat.
Super tall hat.
Yep.
The hat is about as tall as he is.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, I think one of the things that I like about them is, so they just like flat out say like gnomes are from the first world, so like their version of the Feywild in Pathfinder. But they're sort of like kind of born with essentially a magical wasting disease.
Oh, so they used to be bigger?
Called not so much that, but like, I guess wasting's the wrong term, but like, they like biologically need like excitement in their life, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like excitement like parties or whatever, just something that can bring them joy and happiness for long periods of time. They need that. If they don't, the literal color in their body fades to gray and black. Like,
interesting.
Like they become monotone, and like their personality like becomes more dour and melancholic, and eventually they'll just die from it, like a wilted flower.
That's funny. I mean, not like funny, haha, but it's like weird.
Yeah. And so there are like groups called Wonder Seekers who are they're called bleachlings.
Bleachling? Okay.
Yeah. They're gnomes who are trying to reverse it. Because it is reversible. So like once it's like set on, it kind of gets harder. Because it's like, oh, when you're depressed, you don't really want to do anything fun. It's like, yep, I get it.
Way to go, Paizo. Turning depression into
Superpower.
a racial disease.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like there are people who like there are gnomes who like travel around looking for them to try to help them, and
Even if I'm young and feel old, I don't understand a damn thing anymore. It would be the same as when someone says Riz is another person who doesn't understand what they call him. Unk or old man. Why? Yeah, I mean, that's a thing that happens. I think really...
that's unknown.
Yeah, it depends more on how and who you interact with than, I think, being old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Unk is not new. Unk has been around for a good long while. Good while.
I think social media really, especially like TikTok and YouTube, unified a whole generation of people. Whereas like when I was growing up, like even within a clique, like the memes and the jargon took a really long time to disseminate, and so you would very much hear people from California talking and be like, "The fuck did you just say?" Because you just never heard the vernacular. And now it's just like everyone can hear it all the time. You'd only ever really get it if
I
you
saw
watch
someone
movies or travel.
talking about like how things like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook is the death of like regional accents and dialect, which I think is sad.
It's sad, but also it's not necessarily a bad thing. Not because like regional dialects aren't bad or anything. It's just that there was a time when different parts of the country and different parts of the world like couldn't understand each other, like within distance of each other, right? Like, and so that's having more understanding is I think always better. And even like let's say 80s, and it might even go back further because of the British people do this too, like the way the British people on TV talk. They talked in a way that everyone in Britain could understand them, but it was its own like dialect. And then what is the Mid-Atlantic? It was like the most desirable accent for actors for a very long time. And so,
it's partially because it was a lot of actors were coming from theater.
Yeah.
And so like you need a super clear accent to be able to like project your voice out
Exactly.
to like an audience.
And I don't think that I don't think it's necessary. The thing you read, I've heard that too, and I agree with it, but I also don't agree with it in certain aspects of it. TikTok might do that same thing that movies did, where like everyone on TikTok talks the same, says the same stuff, and then most people will not use that in day-to-day life because most people don't know it. And so when you have those young kids that are just like talking like that at you, and they're just like, they're not going to get the response they want from the world, like if they start trying to do that in the workplace and stuff. So I think it's going to be one of those kind of clicky things, and we'll see how it goes from there. But words change. The way we talk to each other changes. It's pretty common. If you see anything that's writing, it's not fixing my house by renovating. I'm not removing anything old because I'm a fan of all the old things active from years before. Yeah, keep the old stuff, man. Jump Rope and I constantly argue about this one wall of ours that is wood paneled. Because I don't mind it, but Jump Rope hates it. It's like, no. The alternative is just a blank wall, which I also think is boring. So
I'm partially on Jump Rope's side, but that's mostly because I live in a house with like bad wood paneling, and just like I want it gone. Hate it because it's just dark brown and like makes the house too dark.
Sure, that is an argument.
Yep. But I also hate though house flippers who will flip a house and just paint everything beige and put down that same light gray wood flooring. Not even real wood flooring. Just like, stop. The house was fine.
to make it look slightly cleaner. Yeah, we spent a lot of time undoing all the house flipper shit, which is very frustrating because it's like, if you would have just not bought this house and we could have bought this house, it would have been better for everyone except you. So,
Yep.
go fuck yourself.
Although, like, I'm not super into the whole open floor layouts that a lot of people really want to have anymore. I'm like, nah.
Oh, I am. I have no idea. I grew up in a very tiny house.
Yeah, same.
And
I've house that has too many doors. I'll explain that to you though.
mind you, like, I didn't grow up in a trailer. I grew up in a 3-bedroom house. So like that's not terrible.
Yeah.
But it was literally 3 bedrooms and a kitchen and a living room. That was it. And the kitchen and the living room were kind of the same room. So it's like, that is not terrible. It was a nice little house. But now, when we were looking for houses, it's like I want a big room to do stuff in that is not part of the kitchen and is not like. So our garage. We don't have a garage because it got converted into a big living space, and I'm very happy with that. But if I could knock down every internal wall in my house, I probably would.
So our house, which we didn't build, we sort of inherited, or we're allowed to live in, basically, by a relative, has
Black mold in the ceiling. That sucks. Get your respirators out.
like 5 front doors.
Okay. Why?
I don't know. The guy who built it has built. We know 3 houses that he's built back in the 40s, and all of his houses there are like 4 or 5 front doors. Every room has a separate
Gotcha.
like door to it.
Okay, so he's building tenant houses essentially, where each person kind of has their own room and has a door to their room.
Yeah. So like you walk. So there's like technically sort of lies. So you walk in. So like when you look at the house, oh, there's only 2 doors. Like there's a door into like the main part, and then a door into the kitchen. But you open the door to the main part, there are 2 doors at an angle. One goes to the big bedroom, and the other goes to the living room. But yes, our living room has like a separate door to it. And it's just like, And then
my backyard has a side door, which I assume was there when it was a garage, right? Like it probably went through the garage here, and then this had a screen door or like a sliding door. They removed that and just put a door here. And when they redid the garage, this is just a room, and there's the kitchen here. So like you just come into this room, and there's just 2 doors going inside. It's like, what? What's happening here?
Yeah.
Pick one and get rid of the other one.
My great uncle's house, that's been remodeled, so it's not like this anymore. Had also like 4 front doors to it. There's one to the kitchen. There was a separate door that went into the bedroom from the outside.
Yeah.
But there was also like you open the door, there's still another door into the bedroom. I was like,
weird.
I was just like, and my dad thinks like he must have been like really afraid of fires or something.
Yeah. Goldtooth, welcome in. It could also have been if it was in the 40s that like just it was easier to put a door in than it was to like put windows, so you could just ventilate the house with screen doors. But I don't know. Get lots of.
But these also weren't screen doors. These were like just solid wood doors.
Weird.
It was weird.
Weird. You found a bloody Tommy gun in your garden. That's weird. That's weird. I would call the cops and definitely not keep it for your own collection after cleaning it up. How are you doing, Goldtooth? All right, what else should I do for this T-Rex to be more wizardy? I want to give him a robe, but like, I don't know. T-Rex robes make sense. I am a dinosaur wizard. What do you do if you're a dinosaur wizard? You don't polymorph yourself into a T-Rex if you're already a T-Rex. Guess you just cast enlarge.
Polymorph yourself into a human.
That's true. I was reading more about
if anything from
the Vorpal dragons.
Mm-hmm.
The Vorpal dragons are hilarious to me.
In a good or just stupid way?
In a good way.
Or
like,
both?
No, in both. But like, I think it's funny because they don't hoard treasure like other dragons. They hoard sharp objects and shiny things, and they put it on their body so they become more shiny and more pointy.
Yep.
Sorry you haven't been around. Yeah, no problem. I mean, everyone's doing their life things, right?
Yep. Ironically, I found like a video talking about them on Instagram. I'm just like, this
I think
is
you
weird.
sent it to me. You sent me a...
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched that video. I don't know where they got their information from. I was trying to find it in the book.
I don't know either.
And it's just like, they said a whole bunch of stuff that I'm like, that's great. And then I looked it up. I'm like, where?
Unless they were like talking about like an interview or something, which I guess, but like if it's not in the book,
Yeah, I'm confused about it.
it
Something they said was that like the Vorpal dragons have multiple eyes because they can't move their heads, and I'm like, what? Where does it say that? And where does the picture show them having multiple eyes? That's a cool thing. That's a really cool concept of like, if you can't move your body because you're so spiky and rigid because you're a sword, you would have eyes all over your joints and stuff in between your scales. I'm like, that's some eldritch shenanigans. Give him a beard, like a Gandalf beard. All right, we can try that. And I thought that was really cool, but I can't confirm that that's a real thing. So I don't know what
I
they're
agree
talking about.
wholeheartedly. Because like I don't think they're telling the truth. Because it, like, oh, like they lost the ability to have their heads cut off. I don't think that's even true. I think they can have their heads cut off.
Yeah, I don't know. The rules,
but they can't turn their heads. Like, I'm pretty sure they can.
The rules state that when you do the Vorpal decapitation from a Vorpal dragon, one, doesn't have to kill you. It's the dragon's choice.
Which I think is amazing.
Is really good. And two, technically, it says any creature that can be decapitated is, and if they can't be decapitated, like they're immune to it because they don't have a head, it just does a butt ton of damage. It still does a ton of damage. But the other funny thing about that was that that I thought was great was that they're obsessed with beheaded things, so they might have Doulahan guards or like decapitate a bunch of people and then like keep their bodies or heads as trinkets. I think that's really funny. I think it's really funny.
I've been trying to figure out a way of Yazka to like incorporate that somehow, and I have not come up with it yet.
I would just like have him carrying around skulls. He does.
Yeah.
You guys do have all those skulls.
Well, that's Cinchi. Cinchi's the one who has all the damn skulls.
Yeah, but if you have somebody who's obsessed with beheading people and someone's carrying around a bunch of skulls, they might talk about that and be like, "Hey, can I buy that from you? Let me see that."
Because I have like I have like a weird shield blade that's whatever Cinchi does. It's a skull made from like a raptor skull.
That's right.
I have a staff that has a griffin skull on it. I have two masked skulls that.
No shade to you,
three.
because I don't think you did this maliciously. I think it's. Let me just say the whole thing. You've been collecting everything, which is great because the rest of the party has not been. The rest of the party has just been like stuff. And like completely ignoring any of the loot that I've been leaving.
I have been a bit of a magpie.
And
I'm not gonna lie.
Senji's just been collecting all this crap because nobody else is interested in tracking it. It's just like, okay, great, I guess.
Yep. But the bad part about it is I forget I have it half the time.
Yeah. That's
Like,
true.
oh no, I need to keep better track of my stuff.
Never really care.
'Cause-
Roosters leave behind beers, strings, and nod. Like fake ones? Oh yeah. Never really cared for the particular weapon since most players always got their hands on it and made a rule the bosses are just immune to decapitation. Yeah, that's not how that works. The Vorpal dragons specifically are bananas, and I really dig it. The other really shitty thing about Vorpal dragons is they get multiple attacks, but they get multiple attacks and dash moves. They have a move called like, oh, what the hell is it? Like There Will Be Blood or something, where they get to fly twice and make 2 attacks while they're flying. It's just like, ugh. The whole party's just going to be freaking bleeding everywhere. Adding feathers to a dinosaur has always seemed like a fantastical element to a typical dinosaur silhouette. I can see feathers along the jawbone, eyebrows, etc. Yeah, that's a good point. You can do that. Something like that. I don't know if T-Rexes had feathers.
I think one of the things that initially drew me to Vorpal dragons is the fact that they're not really quote unquote born biologically.
Yeah. I think
but like kind of enchanted. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, I really like the idea about I like what you're doing with I'm gonna take a sword out and try to birth another dragon into the universe by decapitating like a Jabberwocky. Like that's cool. I dig that. It's a really neat way to be a paladin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. I'm gonna call that one there. Let's go and move on to the next one.
But yeah, and also the fact that they can like control their Vorpal magic in a way that allows them to like not kill someone.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's just neat.
No, that's not how it works, but it's either I do that or I just say, you can't do it. I've always wondered the word. Oh, I just read 2 different chat things. Single creature is known in the universe to just stay away from the meaning no campaign. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff with the way D&D runs Vorpal. Because the sword itself, it specifies that you only get it on a 20, which I think is interesting for D&D. Because like Pathfinder, you have higher criticals, and so if you crit with a Vorpal sword in D&D, you do a ton of damage. Mm-hmm. But you have to roll a natural 20 to insta kill the thing, and then they still get to make a DC save. So I think the way I would run it in D&D is you have to get the critical, which is normal, have to roll a 20. So if you have some way of an expanded critical range, has to still be a 20 for the decapitation to happen. And then they should roll a DC, which I think is going to be 20 plus your to hit modifier. So that's still really, really high. But if you're fighting a level 20 boss, that's probably fine. Like their fort save is going to be pretty good anyways. So I think it's good. And then the other thing it says is that like the head has to be the blade has to be bigger than their head, right? So you can't have a Vorpal kitchen knife and decapitate a dragon with it. It's just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, it just does a ton of bleed damage.
It also doesn't really affect things like hydras, ironically.
Yeah, it specifically has an iterative in there for a caveat for if it has multiple heads, you decapitate one head.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know if there's a rule for it, but I would state, like, if you decapitate a Hydra's head, or one of the Hydra's heads with a Vorpal sword, a head ain't going to grow back from there. I think
I could make
the magic of the Vorpal would stop it.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But, like, because functionally it would, like, at least give some benefit for you, like, or reward it. For getting a crit on a Hydra.
Right, yeah. I've always wondered, but how the hell can a dragon spit fire and fly? How can they do it? I've always wondered this. All people from the Middle Ages. There's a really old cartoon that I don't remember what it was. But they need to eat brimstone, is what they said in that comic. Because it makes sulfur, which makes them lighter so they can fly. And then it also makes the fire. So... In that universe, dragons are giant balloons full of flammable gas. So take that with a grain of salt. That's right. You play Pathfinder, so the rules are a little bit different. Yeah, Pathfinder's a little different. A dragon would then be pissed off lizard too big with wings to spit fire like that. I mean, a lizard with wings flying is kind of weird anyways. Like, so really, if you wanted to go that way, you'd have to be like a chicken. Take a chicken or a bird and then give it flame breath, which wouldn't that burn the feathers? I don't know. There's a whole bunch of weird shit about dragons, just in general, not working physically.
Also, like, for a good long while in Europe, dragons didn't breathe fire.
Yeah.
They were mostly, like, toxic creatures, spewing, like, venomous or poisonous breath out.
I have to go clean a room full of black mold and I'll be back. Yeah, mask up. Mask up. Wear your goggles. Burn the house down. We still allow swords to do damage. Fight the boss. Create, instead of decapitation, just do 100 flat damage to the boss. Yeah, I think in Pathfinder, for the Vorpal Dragons is what I was just looking at. I think the ancient one I was looking at was really weird. It's like it decapitates the creature or does like 20d6 damage. And I was just like, that's awesome. That is great. I'm going to roll the dice here. Sorry, I got distracted. A Femme Fatale, Haragon, Archfey, Warlock. Where does the term Femme Fatale come from? Is that a movie?
I think it's French.
Yeah, but like it feels very specific and it's used all the time too. I assume just mean a deadly woman, which might be the French. I think that's what it means in French.
Yeah, because I know it's mostly like applied to. Oh god, that really famous like French spy who really got the short end of the stick. Matahari.
I do think it's more related to spy movies in my mind than anything else.
Yeah,
but
maybe it's just like the French term for a female spy.
Could be. I would rather deal with the players using that than using Black Razor. I really hate the sword, especially when it has the hands of a barbarian. I don't remember Black Razor. I know Blood Razor. Blood Razor is good. I made a weapon once that I think maybe this was based off of Blood Razor. I can't remember, but it sounds familiar for what I did. That if you stab somebody with this dagger, they got stunned, and I didn't realize how broken that was until I gave it to the players. But oh, it had some shenanigans. It had some shenanigans with it. It's like an immovable rod, but it's a dagger that not just paralyzes, but just immobilizes the thing you stab with it. It's like, I'm gonna stab him and I'm gonna leave it there. It's like, well, okay. Two-handed greatsword that has a +3 to hit, okay, and considered as a cursed object, but it curses, it just keeps making you want to kill things. Okay, gotcha. Quick reference, sir.
It's essentially, yeah.
Femme Fatale refers to a woman who wreaks doom on a man's love life, a mistress or in a sense. Oh, okay. Gotcha. A dangerous woman. It kills someone that isn't undead. It eats their soul. Oh, gotcha, okay. It gives you temporary PP. Yeah, I actually use that all the time. I love that as a base. I just gave one of those to Druid. And, except I made a cap on it to where if he ever got too many hit points, he would go berserk. And it almost killed the party, and it was really funny. And no one else was impressed. Except for me.
It wasn't so much we were impressed, we just...
It was badly timed. It was
kind of just... Yeah, it was very badly timed, and we kind of just... It really took the wind out of our sails.
Yeah. But I do love that. There's another... That's the other fun thing about the Vorpal Dragon is it doesn't have a breath weapon. It has a inhalation weapon.
Yeah.
And it just sucks all the blood out of the room and does vacuum damage, essentially, to everything.
Yeah.
Alexander, welcome in.
Technically void, but yeah.
Void, yeah. But I mean, that's yeah, space. And then it gets temporary hit points for how much it sucks in, which is cool. And I think I like that kind of mechanic. I think it's great, especially for parties that don't have a lot of healing. So it's just like you can risk the fight by gaining more hit points while you fight. But I very much like the alternative to that is the vicious enchantment, which you deal bonus damage and you take half as much of the bonus damage. So you're like, it's a two-edged sword. And I've always had a lot of fun doing that with giving people more freedom with it. So it's like, you hit the thing, and you get to choose which die you're going to roll for bonus damage. And people are always like, oh, I'm going to do a d20. It's like, do it. And then you take half that. And they're like, I'm never using this weapon again. It's like, okay. Lars once did that with a d100 and killed his character and didn't kill the thing he was fighting. And I thought that was really funny. But the hubris got him.
That's hubris.
Lars is a character. Doing all right, kid? He's like half asleep. I think, yeah, the thing with curses is you're saying, again, like, it's a weapon that's considered to be cursed and evil, though it just makes you want to kill more things. I mean, yeah, most party members are going to want to kill stuff anyways. I think that's why with curses, it's really up to the DM to make those feel like cursed items.
Mm.
And so I think rules is written when you go into that, like, berserk bloodthirsty mode, like, you no longer get to choose what you're attacking.
Yeah. You are now an NPC under the GM's control.
And that was kind of the really shitty part about that, was that I thought, I'm like, oh yeah, so you just, well, it's not shitty, and let me reiterate that. Druid, I think, took it as, oh, okay, I have to, like, do other things. I'm just going to go invisible, I'm going to run away, and then I won't have to fight anybody. I'm like, no, I get to use your character. And then I was like, oh, that sucks. Because it very much stipulates that you have to use every one of your actions to give closer and attack something. And it's like, that sucks. Because that basically is stunning your character. That's why it's a curse. Because you are losing control of your character and you have to do these things. So, yeah. Yeah. And I've had a couple of other players use berserker axes and things like that do, like, we've wiped a party with a barbarian. Like, that is a thing that happens.
Yeah. I mean, you confused me once. Like, you put me under, like, a confusion spell or something. And so I was like, yep, well, I ain't doing much.
I one time when I was playing with Lars, I was playing a Dragoon, and so I'm like, oh, we're going into combat. I'm going to use my turn to cast True Strike. I'm going to cast Jump on myself. Like, this is a couple turns of build-up. So, like, I'm going to cast Jump on myself, and then I think Jump Rope hasted me, so I had 4 actions to move, and I could jump an insane amount of distance. And then Lars used Command on me, which I failed. I failed the save. And he's just like, go away. And I'm like, okay, I spend my turn running 400 feet the other direction out of combat for a minute. And it was just like, and Lars was like, I don't know what to do here. I'm like, yeah, you just removed me from combat, so that's fine. Good luck. And it was bad. Because by the time the spell wore off, the command wore off, my jump spells and stuff had already burned out, and so it's like, now it's going to take me 3 times as long to get back. So that was fun. It happens. It absolutely happens sometimes. Those spells are really powerful, and people think, sometimes people like, I don't have anything I can cast because I don't have anything that'll do damage. It's like, there are a lot of options. There are a lot of options that really make the game weird, that I think a lot of people don't think of because it doesn't have a damage component to it. I'm back. I accidentally broke It just accidentally broke it while I was on the ladder. Oh no, what did I miss? Ugh. Do you know how many things I found in 2 years? Bodies of people, money, 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 money. That sounds like a fun house to buy. Skeletons in the walls. I'm surprised you're allowed to live in this house. Coconuts have water in them. That eye is too low.
Is it actually water or is it more juice?
Coconut?
Weird question. Yeah.
It is water. I mean, juice is there's some semantics in there.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't realize it when I said it. I was
yeah.
like, there's semantics in play here.
Juice, the way we look at it, is usually crushed out of something. So, like, apple juice is technically just apple fluff in water, right? Like, concentrated apple in water. But coconut water is what it's called, is technically juice, but when you crack it open, you're not destroying any of the stuff. It's just naturally in there. So, lemon juice, coconut juice, yeah, I think you could call it coconut juice, and that'd be fine. Because of the way it's set up. You don't have to extract it. That's the thing. That's the caveat I'm trying to get to. Like,
Okay,
it's not trapped. I guess it is technically. It's not trapped within the cells of the coconut. The coconut is just one giant cell. Because you have the flesh, and then and then it's just got water in it. Because it gets trapped. You still have a stop spell, specifically since I can use it to stop time and then quickly heal the whole party. That's where like 3.5 got really weird, right? Like there was a lot of time shenanigans. Finding the foundations, yet my walls in every room, and finding every tunnel under the house and rooms under the house, and I have 100 rooms. I don't know how. So you bought like a giant mafia mansion, is what I'm hearing. That sounds pretty dope. I wish I had money for a mafia mansion. Oh, the things I would do with a mafia mansion. Probably not a lot, actually. What was this supposed to be? I don't know if it had a class. It just said femme fatale, right? So maybe we should do rogue? Archfey warlock. There we go. Okay. How crooked is this? This feels really crooked. It's pretty crooked. Let's try this again. I think I just need to erase that eye because it's in the wrong spot. Keeps a little button nose, that's fine. Stop in 5th edition isn't that powerful, being a level 9 spell. Yeah. I forget that you play like max level campaigns. I'm always playing low level campaigns. Okay, Archfey Warlock, right? Archfey Warlock. Maybe... something like this. I'm reading the newest Dresden book right now, which has been good so far. But it very much feels like Jim Butcher likes to torture his characters, like he just does. And it's always been a running joke of every single Dresden book is Wizard Detective doesn't get to sleep for 2 weeks. Like, that's just how he writes the books. Like, okay, so this is gonna start, and then Dresden's gonna get really tired. And this book feels very much the same, except it's just like, what if he was really sad the whole time? And it's like, okay. Has a bar, wants to be banned alcohol and margaritas. Nice, you have like a little speakeasy in your house? God, that must be a huge house. That's crazy. At that point, you might need to call in some professional renovators, unless that's what you do. The black mold is scary, but like, depending on where you live, I'm surprised you were able to buy the house.
Kind of reminds me, sort of related. The school I was working at in Virginia, they had there was a public library or community library that they kind of owned, but they closed it down, sadly.
Okay.
And they were going to so they were in the process of renovating it to use it again. And one of the teachers was showing me around in it, and she's like, "When we go in the basement, don't shuffle your feet. Pick up your feet gently and put it down gently." Like, why? Asbestos.
Yeah.
Everywhere. The whole floor, everything you see and touch is asbestos. I was like, great.
Yeah. Here in Washington, that was a big issue for us, because it was anytime we wanted to do anything to the house, they're like, "Oh, well, we got to send off and do a test to make sure that there's no lead in the paint and there's no asbestos in the insulation." It's just like, you know what? Don't worry about it. We're just not going to do anything else. This is a pain in the ass. I get that that's dangerous, and so I don't want people working on the house if it's dangerous. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not going to spend $400 for you to tell me that you can't work on my house. I will do it myself.
Yep.
Yeah. You don't want to... Okay, cool. Cool, kid. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here, but everything feels kind of crooked and weird. I think the hair is screwing me up. The head should look like this. And then the bangs, yeah, the bangs are doing something weird. So I guess most people level 10 is not low level campaign. No, level 10 is pretty mid to high. Once your character gets to level 20, you're basically demigods. So level 10 is high level characters in world should be level 10. Everything after that is just min-maxing the crap out of the universe, right? Understand? Hello. Think about, as soon as you get access to the wish spell, you have the potential to break the universe. That's not something that normal people should have. Ever.
Yeah.
And I think that is another fun thing about D&D that I really like, is the players should not be normal people. Right, they are experiencing weird shit that is happening. Even if you're running into other adventurers, the player characters themselves should be in a unique situation. Otherwise, their story's not unique, and that's not as an interesting thing that's happening. So like most people that let's say work for an adventuring guild, they should be dealing with monsters and like maybe ghouls and things like that. Things that would exist in your universe that are scary that normal people shouldn't have to deal with. But the party should be dealing with the weird shit that like those people don't want to deal with. Because otherwise, just hire an adventure guild, no problem, easy peasy. That is that's a nice hand, but it's the wrong angle for what should be happening here. There we go. That's better. What time is it? 11 o'clock. We're doing okay. We've been going for about an hour. I can tell the kid's getting a little restless. I might need to get him some snacks. What do you need, kid? Would you want the bow tie on? You found a bow tie? Yeah, there you go. What's so fancy? I don't understand how in the world I'm so lucky to find these things. Just, yeah, I mean, like, you should be recording this on YouTube. Well, maybe not since it's a mafia house. Tonic, welcome in. But I feel like you have the every person buying a house's like dream. Just like finding weird stuff to. Anybody buying a house that finds money in that house, that's a good day. Like, I wish. The only thing I found in my house is like 13 rat skeletons. And like shitty house flipper stuff that I had to correct. What's going on, kid? Do you need a drink? I might have to take a quick break here. Give the child some attention. Let's give her some cool tattoos. I've always been follow the rule of avoid both OP characters in concept and murder mundane characters in stats to give an OP concept and give them a reason to bring them down to low levels. Yeah, that's interesting. It would make more sense if I told you I'm in Italy. Nepal's one of the most famous cities, mafiosos. Okay, that makes way more sense. Yeah, like finding that in like Brooklyn, maybe, or not Brooklyn, but like Baltimore, maybe. But like, I don't know about finding a mafioso house in Washington. Maybe, but probably not. Makes a lot more sense. That sounds like a really cool house, though. I would dig to have a virtual tour of those things. Get it cleaned up. Show it off to the world. I don't have a problem with OP characters as long as everyone is OP at the same amount. I need to know what level of challenge to throw at the party. I have a really cool thing to talk about with that. I need to be right back for a second, but yeah, we should talk about that because I disagree with you, and I think it's a healthy discussion we should have. Give me a second. I'll be right back, everybody. Hang tight. All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
So I used to be I used to agree with you that if you're gonna make somebody OP, the whole party needs to be OP. And really, I think that's a really good mentality for preventing players from min-maxing. Basically, don't allow someone to make themselves OP. If the whole party isn't ready for that, right? Because the party should be on the same level of build and gameplay. They should be on the same, and when I say level, I mean like they should agree to it. So if you have somebody who just wants to do an insane amount of damage and fight gods, but the rest of the party's like, we just want to have a kind of a chill political intrigue thing. It's like those are going to be very hard to make those parties exist well. So if you have a bunch of people that like to min-max, great. If you have a bunch of people that don't like to min-max, great. Keep them separate. But if you find a party that does work well together and they agree with these kind of things, then you can really break it. You can really fracture the power dynamics of the party, because the characters want it that way. Like if they're okay with that kind of thing. Like having a really good example of that is having a party member who's just like, I'm not here for combat, and so when we get into combat, I'm gonna freak the fuck out. Like I'm gonna panic, I'm gonna hide, and that's great. Like that's their own mini game. They're there to play the way they want to play, and so you can start doing that with, especially if you want one character to be like a champion for your story that like is driving it. They can be pretty powerful, but they're trying to drag along these other people, and they have to protect them. And that's where you have to start building your DM encounters for. It's like, okay, how do I make it so that it's challenging for the person who is overpowered without just insta-killing everybody else? And it takes a lot of finesse to like utilize what those people are doing with their characters in every combat. Now the downside to that, and the complexity of it, is that a good example of this is Lars was playing a gunslinger, and I gave him basically guns that could never miss. So every turn, he's just like, I'm just going to roll damage and start just bam, 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 right? So he could take out 3 or 4 things in a round. So I'm like, okay, Lars is going to have to deal with all of these archers, and they're just going to be spawning and popping out of places, and he's just going to be quick firing, pew, 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 right? That's great. Kevin, the necromancer, has a giant skeletal minion who can essentially grab and crush literally anything. Anything I throw at him, it just like picks it up with one hand, squishes it for a couple rounds until it dies. Great. I'm going to make him fight a giant. He's going to have a big wrestling match with this giant as this fight's going on. And then Jump Rope's character was a scythe-wielding sociopath that could essentially one-shot anything big. And so I was going to have her running interference of like things coming in here, trying to go for Kevin, trying to get at Lars. So that these two couldn't deal with their issues, right? That's the plan. That's the fight that I set up. It was going to be great. Here's what happened. Lars immediately runs at the giant. Kevin starts fighting the little things that Jump Rope's supposed to fight. Jump Rope goes over here and starts trying to like run at this thing, kills one guy. I'm like, okay, 5 more spawn. She kills the next guy. Lars immediately gets crushed by the giant and dies. Kevin the necromancer has this thing fighting one dude, and then 3 more of them attack him because they didn't fight the things that I thought they would fight. And it took me a minute of like, oh dang, it sucks that you don't have someone that can shoot a whole bunch of small things really fast. And Lars is like, oh yeah, I should probably be doing that. It's like, yeah, maybe. So it's hard, it's difficult, but you can do it. You can definitely do it. It's just like whatever makes those characters unique, really lean into it and make sure that they're aware that they're good at it. So yeah, let's see, let me catch up on chat here. My character's kind of jack of all trades. Yeah, high saves, high H. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about your Goldtooth is just basically a min-maxed like hyper druid, right? It's hard to, druids are great for that kind of thing, and I think you built a really good one. On the other hand, I do like the simulator's first play style where the world is the world and everything is pre-stocked and existing in the world. You wanted a red dragons hunting group at level 3. Yeah, I think that can be a lot of fun too. Like I'm a big fan of scaling things down and scaling things up so that you can tell the story you want and then not worrying about the stats. I kind of like the scenario too, but then it just becomes completely unfair and it's also unrealistic. Like seriously, how can anyone live in a world if there's goblins in every corner? Yeah, town guards, right? Like I think pockets of safety and pockets of humanity are really important, and then the world outside is scary. And like that's you just have to build the world that way. The world that we live in is not a world that a fantasy world could exist in, right? I talk about this all the time. Like, what if crocodiles just lived in your front yard? Like, sure, Florida people do that all the time, but like, what if they were 10 times as big? Like, the world would be different. The world would absolutely be different. We need to see this D&D party one here. We've done a few different things with them. I think it's important to have more intangible things. Yeah. That a character is expected to be good at. A fighter of mine in their backstory was a master tactician, so they'd be good at wargaming. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of min-maxers like really just focus on how can I brute force through things, and like that's not as interesting to me. I like characters that kind of focus on a few. Like Burning had the grapple barbarian, right? Which is really fun, but then the go-to was, okay, fight starting, who am I grabbing? And it's like, you don't always have to do that. It's like, that's how I built my character. That's the only thing my character does. It's like, okay, so if we make a fight where you can't grapple something, your character is just turned off, right? And that's not fun. That's not fun for players. So like it's the more players min-max into one thing, the more difficult it gets for the DM to make it interesting for that player. And that's usually why I fall off and don't like min-maxing super hard. But it's totally fine to do that. You just have to prepare yourself for, if I can't do the thing I'm going to do, what else can I do? And that's something I have to start asking players to think up all the time. And it works out. I think it works out if they can do that. So I kind of miss... I'm going to roll the dice here. I just need to roll below 3. Here we go. Red dragon. Rat dragon. Enough said. Okay, rat dragon. We can do that. What was I saying? Lost it. Focusing on the things you can't do. I lost it. No idea.
Min-maxing characters.
Min-maxing, yeah. I think it's all about how the stats
like
fill
grapple.
the fantasy, at least in 5e. Proficiencies and okay. Proficiencies and core stats allow allocation must be very intentional. Yeah, like that's really where it can break. In 5e, because they put a hard cap on the stats you can have, that's what allows the monsters to be a lot more flexible, so you can kind of have low-level parties fight high-level things because the stats are pretty even across the board throughout the leveling system. But with Pathfinder, and this is what I was going to say, I miss... Pathfinder 1 had like use magical device and like read scrolls and or read magic, use magical device as all these different functions, and they've all been kind of condensed down, which I think purposefully, but it very much made it so it's like I'm a wizard, but I want to learn how to use cleric items so that if my spells don't work, I have something else to like lean into. Or you could be a cleric or a priest that learns how to read magic or use wands, right? Like, it was the stats kind of made up for that so that you could really focus on your class, but still have the option to like bend back around and try other things, which was kind of interesting. They added a trick magical item in Pathfinder, which is essentially the combination of those two things. In 5e, you don't really need it. It's just like magical item, anyone can use it, doesn't fucking matter. It's like, okay.
Yep.
So
Unless it stipulates that like you had to be a certain class.
yeah.
They do that sometimes.
And so I think that's kind of how I've been playing, and I'm trying to instill this with my parties, which Corvus hint nudge. The items I like
I'll
to
try to
give,
take the hint.
yeah, take this hint. Take this hint, write it down, tell it to the party later. The items I give to my players are kind of meant to be other things, like other options for their characters. Yes, I give them things that are themed for them sometimes, but a lot of the times it's like, here's a magical item that is weird. It is weird, it does something very specific, and it should be something that I want you to find a weird way to play with it. Like I used to like give out the Ring of the Ram. Ring of the Ram is a really cool item, and it's just like, I think some of the funnest things I've had with people doing that is, I'm gonna grapple this person and then use the Ring of the Ram on them, like right in their face. It's like, great, you pick them up and just like Hadouken them across the room. Like that's really funny to me. So I think that kind of stuff is cool, and I think having items and equipment kind of complementing your kit is really smart, and having things that are just off the wall for those situations where it's like, my pyromancy spells don't work. I guess I'm gonna pull something out of my bag, maybe. That's great, and I love that. So I think that's really important to kind of lean into as a DM. But at the same time, and this is like, Kevin does this all the time too, I'll give them stuff, and Kevin will be like, that's not interesting to me, I'm just not going to take it. And it's like, okay. It's like, I'm not interested in this, I'm just going to leave it on the table. It's like, or maybe it'll come in handy later? Who knows? I had some fun with Fantasy Map Simulator last night. Go ahead, Corvus. Sorry, I'm just reading chat.
Was I going to say anything?
Oh, I thought you were. I'm not.
I don't remember. No.
Set custom, cultural, and religion and broke the world into independent provinces and let it run at 3 times speed for about 2 hours. Had to fix some names. Neat. That's cool. So you just kind of let the simulation build the maps for you. That's pretty cool. The whole room, almost in the other rooms, only one above, not the ones down. That's good. I've played 5e. I've grown to value the elements outside of the hard statistics. Yeah. More and more as character creation. You can have an optimized character that acts like an asshole. Yeah, that's true. They're very separate. Like the background and the build for the characters are very separate things. And I've talked to Corvus. We've done this a few times. I'm very much of the mind that you should build your character's background the way you want. Like, here's what I want to have with my character, and then build your stat block. And if it sucks, keep the background and just change the stat block. Like, this character I'm playing is not fun as a ranger. I'm going to try him as a druid. It's like, great. We're just going to kind of gloss over the fact that you brought a bow to the first fight. Didn't work out for you. You're leaning back into your druidic magic. Like, that's great. You don't have to change anything about the backstory. Just the class.
I've literally done that.
Yeah. Asshole may be the wrong term, but give the large party a reason to pull away and relying on a character with optimized stats. Yeah, like, it happens. It happens. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, I've built this character to do X, Y, and Z, and then it doesn't mesh with the party. That is totally legitimate. Sometimes it's just not the right party for that character. What up, kid? You gonna take the dice? Don't put it in your mouth. Hey, go to the back. Yep. All right, I gotta go grab that. All right, Dragon Rat. Dragon Rat. I was always told, make a character that helps with the party or synchronizes with the party. Don't know if it was really good advice, but that's how I always try to build my characters. Yeah, there's two ways to build a character. One is party forward, where the party comes together and says, hey, we're going to make a team. Here's what we need for the team. Who wants to fill what spot, right? That's party forward. And that can be really fun. The other one is character forward, where you get everyone to go away, build their parties, and then the first zero session or session 1 is all, how do these people mesh? And this can be really fun, but it's also the most likely to find out later that characters don't work. And it's just like, well, this character's not going to work with this party. I'm going to have to make a new character. That happens. That's totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We've drawn a rat. How do we make it into a dragon? That's the question. It needs horns.
Yep.
It needs horns, for sure.
Hell, you.
Maybe a fin instead of horns? Nah, let's do horns. Just make it look like Nicobolas. Good advice. I like to play up inner character relationships, which is why I enjoy presenting a party that tries those bonds between members. Yeah. We've done, Jump Up and I, over the years, have done a lot of duo characters, and it's gotten to the point where, like, regardless of what characters we play, we just always start the game assuming we're best friends. And only every now and again do our characters, like, really clash with each other. And I think that's really funny. But, yeah, who knows? One of my personal rules is I refuse to make a character that another character already has made. So if someone already made a wizard, I will not make a wizard as much as I will. So not. Okay, that's fine.
Hey.
I do know people run into that, especially with, like, I've played so many games with, like, multiple clerics and multiple warlocks that, like, that can be really fun. Especially multiple rogues. That's really, really fun. Because then it becomes kind of a mini competition as well of just like, I'm going to go do this. Like, well, I'm going to do that. It's like, you guys can both attempt. Let's see what happens. I do sometimes get not discouraged, but someone will be building a character and then someone else is like, oh, I built a cleric. I'm like, oh, I'm going to switch then. And it's like, no, it's like, I want both of you to have this character thing that you were doing. There's nothing wrong with having two of the same type of class. Because you can play them differently. Like, you can very much play them differently. And even if you don't, 2 necromancers in a party is a lot of fun. Especially when they start getting competitive, so. I do also like character fluidity. 2 people can start in the same place. Like, we're both fighters, but it's like halfway through, one of you gets free levels in Warlock or becomes a Paladin. Like, starting somewhere does not mean you'll end up in the same place, and I think that's really important too. If a character looks the time to make a character, then you don't want to be rude by your character just coming in and doing better than theirs. Yeah, like I said, I think that's the downside to it, right? Is if it becomes a min-max, not power level adjacent thing, or if it does become that, like, that's always going to be bad regardless. And a lot of people I know have played. I'm going to play a bard that does X, Y, and Z. It's like, well, I'm a wizard that is just better at that than you are. And it's like, well, that sucks. And this bard is not fun anymore, right? Like, that doesn't matter about
the class so much as, do we need 2 supports? Do we need 2 tanks? And that is also important, why party forward is sometimes really important to define that. Otherwise, you show up with 2 people who are blaster casters and no tank, and the party dynamics shift wildly. And that's really fun as a DM, but not as fun as the players. So I'm totally fine with not having support characters in a party. Because sometimes everyone wants the DPS, and that's fine. And you can definitely adjust gameplay for that. I don't want people to always feel like they have to be a support. I like playing support characters. I love playing healers. But when I'm DMing, I can't do that. So all of a sudden it's like, yep, you're fine. You do not need a healer for this campaign. Okay, if it's a dragon, its teeth are going to be like way too big. Maybe we make it a floofy dragon. And we'll make it a long body rat. Battlemaster is different than a Cavalier. Yeah. Cleric and Fighter are so interesting classes in 5e because the subclasses that play a life domain are different than the Tempest. Yeah, and Chorus might have better version of this, or a different take on it. But like, the 5e multi-classing system, I think is stupid. Subdomains, I think, should be a lot more prevalent for your characters than they are. 5e really only feels like you ever have like 3 builds that really work, which is great because if you want to build one of those, it's fine, but like it doesn't lead to a lot of really unique customization without kind of fiddling with the rules anyways.
I think I've talked about like how I feel about like subclasses.
Yeah.
I like them because I'm a person who gets like overwhelmed by all the like options. So, like, I need a pretty clear defined pathway into an idea that I want to make. So
yep. And that's I think that's completely fair and like a reasonable thing to like. And it works really well for like video games, right? Like that's very video game-esque, where it's just like, pick your path. It's like, cool. Whereas with Pathfinder, I like having the extra feats. I like having the extra archetype build you can do. It's like, there's a lot more flexibility with it. And with that, yeah, like the difference between a Cavalier and a Battlemaster, that's a great thing to go for. I take that even a step further with Pathfinder, where it's like, I'm going to be a cleric, but I'm going to be a cleric that has worked in the military for years, right? So it's just like, I'm not even really going to focus on my spells, but I have them. And you can do that kind of stuff. You can do that kind of stuff in 5e too. But, and that's what I'm saying, like, having a group of fighters that all have some slight variation is usually enough. Like, you can get away with that really easily, and it can be a lot of fun. The one I think that gets kind of overused and maybe not looked at enough is the like the alchemy component of that. Go ahead, Corvus, if you had something to add.
yeah, I think for me, it's just the whole, like, one of my big issues, not issues, things I struggle with Pathfinder is the fact that there's so many feats, and I have such a hard time like sifting through those feats. No, I know with you, like, you're very lax about like, oh, if it's not working for you, change it. It's fine.
Yep.
And but it's just like it frustrates me when it's like I want to build this thing, and there's so many feats, and I don't know how to like sort through them because there's not like an easy way to sort through all the feats.
Yeah.
So I just like I am kind of paralyzed
Yeah,
with
we used
like
in the old
the
books.
things that are in front of me.
Yeah, in the old books, what we used to do is we would basically say, like, when you start your character, use these 2 books. And then that way you have, like, a limited feat thing to pick from. But since you're only level 1 or 2, that's fine. And then as you play out the character, you're like, I'm going to look through the guns and ammo. Or guns and ammo, it's a magazine. Guns and gear, I think, was one of the books. To kind of, like, expand those out. So you only start looking at them after the fact, right? And that's also why I like low-level campaigns, because you don't have to, like, oh, this is a cool feat that I get at level 12. It's like, that's a lot. It's hard to build level 10 characters. Absolutely, in Pathfinder, because it's all over the place.
And that's also my annoying thing is there are a lot of really cool feats. They're nowhere near level 1.
Yeah.
Or 5. They're all like 12.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I want lower level feats that are really cool and interesting that help define a character.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't.
Yeah, and it was really bad in Pathfinder 1 because it was like, there were so few that it was like, okay, if you're a martial class, you take power attack. And it's like, that sucks. I don't want that. It's like, no, you need this because every other feat that you want later on is required that you have this first. And then it was power attack,
or weapon finesse.
Weapon finesse if you're a dex user, combat reflexes if you were a tank, and then like, and it was just, it sucked. And it was just like, this is once again, this is the build. Like, you start the character, you pick these 1 things, and you don't feel unique until way later. It's like, no, you should feel unique very fast. You should feel unique very fast, and then have really cool stuff that branches from that. So, which is, I like the heritage system. I think that helps a lot with that, because even if you do pick, like, I'm a generic fighter, but also I'm a ghost dragon, it's like, hell yeah, we have a character. All right, I need to draw a cat golem, and then I think we're done. So I think I'm gonna just scribble that up here, and then we'll probably call it for the day. Is a golem made out of cats, or is it a cat driving a golem? These are the questions. I think the more tired I get, the more derpy the things I draw get. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I'll give it a tail.
Fire. I'm on fire.
Might just be my own flavor, but I see Cavalier as protecting of allied creatures at large. Fantasy, though, it's you'd be protecting your mount. Yeah, like, I think there's some very specific Cavaliers that, like, become knights of places, which is kind of interesting. I very much like the idea of the Cavalier being a free-roaming hedge knight that just wants to protect everybody. I like that. I love that concept. Run into the whole heap of problems if you play a small race means you can't have a great sword, crossbow. That's all bullshit. I disagree with that, like, wholeheartedly. I very much like taking the time to define weapon sizes. So, like, yeah, if you're a small creature, you're probably not using a large-sized greatsword, but you can use a small-sized greatsword and do normal damage. I think that's the min-maxing thing that I don't like. It's just like, okay, I want to be this because I get the benefit of being a small, I get all these bonuses, and then I'm going to use this weapon because it's large. It's like, those two things shouldn't go together. It's like, well, technically they do. It's like, all right, okay. Feels predatory, but whatever. I miss playing the Pathfinder games, being a Venom Tail Kobold that uses a shotgun as my main primary weapon. That was just fun. Yeah, I've been talking about building another Kobold, so the next character I make will probably be a Kobold Gunslinger. Because I just haven't done it. And Pathfinder 2 has a ton of really cool ammunitions. So we'll see how
Yeah.
that goes.
Also, you can make them a barrage kobold.
Yeah. Just exploding everything. Oh, that's what I was saying. A lot of people will take the background features of like alchemist because they're like, oh, I can make potions now. It's like, kind of like, that's a class feature to make healing potions the way you think you're going to do it. And so, I kind of feel like alchemist shouldn't be a class. I think alchemist should be like a sub genre of thing. Same thing with like warlock, where it's just it should all be additional to whatever class you're running. Sorcerer is the same thing. Like sorcerer should be basically your background expanded. It's like I'm training to be a wizard. Oh, it turns out you have sorcerer blood. Like that's just me though. Like all of those things are a little too complicated to just be part of the heritage system. But at the same time, I think there's enough of a weird overlap where alchemists just kind of aren't fun to play because they're so complicated. And it's like, this would be much easier if I was a ranger that could learn how to use alchemy. I think that would be more smarter. Or, like I said, like a sorcerer that learns how to, or sorry, a wizard that learns how to tap into its ancient magical heritage as a separate thing. But that might be a little more 4E, a little more everyone is magic and nothing is magic. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I really wish, I almost wish they never made the alchemist class in 2E. I don't
know.
Such a weird, I mean, I know a lot of people probably have fun with it, but it's just like, I feel like it needs so much help. Because I guess they got it with like the vials where like it's replace like your quick alchemy stuff.
I'm gonna say
So,
something
like,
that is
it
maybe
feels
rude.
so.
Go ahead.
I'm not smart enough to play it.
No. I was gonna say it's kind of rude to Druid and myself. We play alchemist wrong because we both want to be crafters. And crafting is just not part of the way Pathfinder works. And D&D is kind of the same thing. I think the crafting systems for those games are just kind of stupid in general because you have outside knowledge of the game. And so you sit down with a character and it's like, I'm a level 5 character. I'm going to make this fucking bananas thing that shouldn't really exist in the game that it is right now. But because my class says I can, I'm going to do it. And it's like, it's just... It adds a needless complexity to the game that I think it diminishes it. And so I think if the Alchemist was very much run more like the Bomber, I think the Bomber system works great for the Alchemist. The Mutagen works great for the Alchemist because you're essentially just being a weird totem barbarian. But like once you get into the actual, like I'm going to craft stuff that is not directly part of the class, it's dumb and it doesn't work. And it's too complicated. Which, unfortunately, is what Druid wants to do. And it's what I want to do. But he wants to make robots, and I want to make fucking crazy-ass potions. And it just works better for NPCs. It just works better for NPCs. So.
Because it's just like, oh, this takes you a week to craft a potion. I mean, maybe not that long, but it's a long time, too. Like, if you're following the rules as they are written, it takes a really long time to craft anything.
Yeah.
Which I guess it makes sense, but it's also like that's not how like most people run their games.
Yep. And it very much is like the Pathfinder tried to streamline some of that with like the way runes, like potency runes, you can just pop them in and out. It's like supposed to be pretty quick. But in D&D, it was very much like, I would like to go to the store, and I would like to have a Vorpal level 3 sword crafted. I have lots of money. And it's just like, technically that's going to take like 6 months to make. And then it's like, so why would a character that's a crafter ever do that
and not just walk into the store and buy it. It's like, oh, it's cheaper. It's like, well, so we're instead of eschewing the gold cost of it, we're just gonna say that everyone wastes 6 months of time, right? You're hand waving something either way, and that's the part that makes me frustrated. Because essentially what that's saying is you can't build this in the dungeon. That's all it's trying to say, and I think that might be the better way to look at it. They're just like, okay, if my character, I know that's why I kind of disagree with you with the alchemist. Like, the vials is great. If you only ever run an alchemist using the vial system, it works really well. But there's a lot of stuff you just don't get out of it, and you are essentially just a wizard at that point, because you're like, I have spell slots that are glass jars, and all of my spells are touch. And it's like, that kind of sucks. Turns out that's not very good. Which is why I think the mutagen.
And like, I have some weapons, but it's only simple weapons, and I'm not particularly great at them either.
Yep. Which, the cool part about the alchemist is that you can basically cast your spells up front and give them to other people. Like, this potion will work for today. Everyone can have a free potion. Cool. That's a thing. Or you could just buy them. You could just buy potions and have them forever. Like,
They're not much more expensive.
Yep. It feels very strange. So
yeah.
I always want to be a crafter in all the games, and it never works out. Yeah, and that really is the reason, right? Because like you're essentially making yourself an NPC. You're not functional in most of the other parts of the game, except that you're giving the players more items that they may or may not use. So, yep. Like, I didn't feel like I stepped on the toes when I wanted to do ship control, or when I did anything with the ships. I kind of have natural respect for, which is quite nice. It was good at ships. Yeah, that kind of background stuff is great. I tend to play without magic stores these days. Yeah, I tend to limit them a lot too, because like Kevin the Necromancer will find something in a dungeon, like a magical item, decide he doesn't want it, and immediately try to sell it. I'm like, you're in a little hick town. No one's gonna buy this magical greatsword you found. Like, just hang on to it for a little while, and maybe it will become useful. Okay, it's almost lunch. I gotta go make lunch for the kiddo. He is zoned out on the TV, so that's bad. We did draw all the stuff on the list, so that's cool. Thanks for hanging out today. Thanks for the great suggestions. I'm gonna go back to working on the video today. Hopefully we'll get that finished up pretty quick. Keep your eyes out for that this weekend. Go watch some of the shorts. Go watch some of the long form videos. Leave a comment somewhere. Helps the algorithm. Things that people want to watch stuff, which is great. I might have a game up on Steam next week for some playtesting, so watch the Discord for that if you want to snag a copy of that to come play it with us sometime or try it out. I would love the feedback. Other than that, that's all I got. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table. Of course, thank you for hanging out today. Catch everybody next week. I will post a new community post on Monday for more suggestions. Thanks, everybody. Bye.